This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Okay, so you think small things is the best way. She does art glass. These are just samples of the glass. She does art glass, and that is
Excellent.
and she wants to display her free of charge for us, like on consignment basis. Look at it.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
How about the rest of the boxes?
This is her artwork here. She lives here and she's asking if she can display her artwork in our building.
But who's going to be liable if somebody
She's
steals
going to
it?
sign a release.
This is cool.
Isn't it gorgeous?
She's doing a Chihuly thing, huh?
Yeah.
Like her own version
Yeah,
of
her
it.
version. But she's willing to sign a release.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
So it will be the same as this, but it'll be bigger, 29 inch, so we'll just
Cannot
like
wait.
that and come down like that.
What gallery? I know this gallery.
So I was thinking, it's just an idea.
Maryland. Yeah, I like these the best.
And there's a console.
Yeah, neat. That looks really
And she's
good.
willing to give it to us on
Right-hand
it's
side.
nicer.
Yeah.
So with a console.
How are we on the railing, huh?
Somewhere on top of that maybe, or even above the sofa.
You saw what I
So
just
thought
found
something
with the
because
others.
it's right by the water, we should celebrate the water.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
That it should
That's
be
why I
nearer.
bought the
I don't
place
care
myself
what it
because
is
it's right
at
by the
this
water.
point. He suggested it's about a hotel.
Yes.
I'm not too picky. I'll work on it in the morning and get it to you right away. I was planning to talk to you today, but I didn't see
Bought it about a couple of years ago, maybe about a couple of years ago, yeah. It's a small unit now, by primary residences in Kansas. You know, in about 5 years, I want to move here, get a bigger place. You know, so that's the plan. So that's why I want to get established over here.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, that will be a good step.
Yes, that will be amazing. Every little bit counts. I'm kind of very established in Kansas and New York, and so I just wanna kind of now, because my work is so water-based.
Yeah.
Like, the theme of water just kind of keeps recurring in my work. So, because I just, my ancestry kind of come from the islands. So that's why I love the water. So this is the place to be.
So you just come down sometimes now?
I come down.
Demonstration
Yeah, I
of
come down
Wirecast.
sometimes, whenever I need a break, I come down. Or if I have some work or something. Like right now, they just started my installation in a showroom in Doral. So that's what I'm here for. And then I thought I'd club it with this presentation as well. And I just want to, just kind of get into the city.
Did she meet you at work shown all over?
Yeah. I was in Spectrum Miami, did the show.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I wasn't pleased with the crowd, so I'm kind of like, $200. It's that, it's glass, it's a lot of work, the material is so expensive. That's not gonna, I can't buy it like that. So where was the wrong place? So I'm an architect, but I also do,
But he's not here now.
I realize that there is a need in the system for materials that are not available in
This is a demonstration of
I do
Wirecast.
high-end residential, commercial. So I felt that I could make sinks, hand-crafted sinks, hand-crafted solutions, backsplash, sculptures, window installations. So I do, those kind of things, like things. So I work with designers. I meet designers and buildings and things like that.
Your license like hands.
So I'm not licensed. So I can do residential.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Designers with architects to do. I never got to that point because my thesis was in glass. Did my master's in landscape architecture. So I just kind of got into that, and then I just never bothered to work. I do some residential, but I'm so in love with this material, and I've worked since I graduated, I've spent about 18 years learning from different artists from around the world. And now I just about a few years back,
Okay,
I
let's call this to order.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
studio in
We have a quorum. Dawn, Andre,
She lives in
Mark.
the building, so we'll ask her to.
Ann.
Okay.
All right, we have to approve
Okay, bye-bye.
the minutes from last time. I think I read these already.
Yeah, there were just two changes on it.
Which change?
The change number one was, the wording on Perlo was appointed
Oh, right,
as
I
a
got
new
that.
director, and then I removed his name from the calling of the roll because he
This
was
is a
not yet
demonstration of
part of the board.
Wirecast.
Right.
with
Gotcha.
Alpha. So those are the only two changes.
All right, so
Everything
I
else?
read this. You read it already, right? So, motion to approve.
Make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
Second it.
All in favor?
All right. Okay. We have to put you for next one. Alright, you gonna do your management report?
Yeah, I'm gonna,
And if you want, you can do,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
oh, yeah.
yeah.
We have $178,315 in our operational account. Including operational cash, we have $221,150 as of, this is as of, May 31st, okay? Total reserves, the only thing that we have gone over in reserves at this point is air conditioning because we've had to change.
This
a lot
is a
of
demonstration
components
of
in there.
Wirecast.
All three pumps. Some pipes and so. So the expenses for the month were $92,461.18, and the revenue was $91,306.27, which put us at a deficit of $1,154.91. Now, I went and
This
looked
is a
at why it
demonstration
was.
of
and
Wirecast.
the two main expenses were the cooling pump, cost us $2,300, and the replacement of a transformer and the addition of a security camera back here added up to almost $1,200. So that was the reason why we were.
What's the back, the transformer in the back lot?
The transformer of the back lot, and
The
then the
electricity.
camera, yeah,
Yeah.
and the camera that we installed right here, right behind here. All right, so that's what that was. In regards to
This is a demonstration of
things that we've
Wirecast.
done in the month of May, we renewed the pool operating permit. We secured architect Gustavo Carbonell, which is gonna be in charge of putting together the plans for all the repairs, or the repairs for the windows, the doors, and the balcony railings, the repair or replacement. Mr. Under Perlo was appointed as the new director of the board. The hallway carpet colors, as well as the paint color in the hallways were approved.
This is a demonstration of
We updated hurricane
Wirecast.
binder and checked for the supplies inventory. We updated our emergency contact for the hurricane, emergency sheet, including staff as well as local and national emergency numbers. We hired a new maintenance technician, which is Michael Matthew. He's been here already for 2 months, and he is really good. I mean, I'm very happy with him. He is very good at what he does and very reliable. Michael Matthew.
Michael Massey.
Yes,
That's the security guy. Zaytech. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right.
This is a demonstration
He's
of
really good.
Wirecast.
Management met with our contractor specialist for windows and doors and discussed options of the windows of the exterior hallway doors and the doors of the recreational room. We've already approved one contractor to do these 2 doors and the door in front of the elevator, and those repairs should be done starting beginning of next week. This one is gonna be replaced, the other 2 are gonna be repaired.
So
And then-
technically at that point, we can start
Start the
doing.
color.
We can start doing inside, yeah, those will be.
You
This
can
And
do
this will be
carpet
sealed.
and paint
Of
here so everybody can
Wirecast.
see what the colors will look like, cause this will be done and ready and secure.
Alright,
And we have, apparently there was major intrusion in here, so we're trying to seal that so we can work on the inside of this room at least, start with that.
okay.
Alright, that's really all I have for the report, so we can move on to the next item on the list.
And, you mentioned in the reserves now is 419? Total reserves?
I would just mention in the reserves of,
This is
Of
a
our own
demonstration
condition.
of
Oh, yeah, I know those
Wirecast.
huge
Huge valves, I understand, yeah.
but we have plenty of money in the reserves. That's what I'm on, we'll give you the numbers after we have it.
So it's relative.
Plenty is relative, because we have a lot of
But
spending.
it's okay, but we're not there. All right, what was next? Next is the appointment.
Board treasurer.
Okay, so,
Alright, so the third item was,
This is a
there's a vacancy in
demonstration
the
of
treasurer
Wirecast.
position because some of us know Robert Shields, the current treasurer, is selling his unit. So he will be obviously no longer part of the board. So we need to appoint somebody else to the treasurer position from the current board members. So we have agreed that under Perlo could be voted to become the new treasurer. So,
all right, I'll, motion to.
motion, seconds? All in favor?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. For sympathy.
You are responsible for all our money now.
Frank, you could say you knew me when.
What? Well, yeah, there still will be an opening as a director, so if anyone has an interest, there'll be 6 of us, so there's 7 you can have on the board, so we'll be looking, and if anyone has an interest, reach out to Mario.
Do I mention anything else? Don't
No rush to.
Well, there's somebody who
This
put
is
their
a
name forward, so if
demonstration of
anybody else-
Wirecast.
So we could do, we'll probably take care of that next meeting or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely be looking into that in August.
All right.
Alright. Fourth, this will be, we have Mr. Paniker and Mrs. Paniker, did I pronounce that correctly?
No, Salam.
Salam, okay, the email signature confused me, are gonna be presenting, sorry about that. They're gonna be presenting, they have a presentation on, some items that they would like to display in our hallway, so.
This is a
That's the mic.
demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, they had asked to have some time at the meeting, so we said, go ahead.
I can read and write, I can't speak. I can
So
speak a
just
little
tell us,
bit.
tell us a little bit about you, you live here,
I'm from Egypt.
she's an artist.
I was in Egypt 3 years ago.
Yeah.
She lives here, she's an artist, and she wants to present her work in the lobby free of charge on a consignment basis, if anyone wants to look at it, buy it, so tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm an artist and I have my
This is a
studio in
demonstration
Kansas,
of
and,
Wirecast.
that's where I live right now, but I own a unit over here. I want to move here in 5 years when my son finishes school. So and I have been I'm in a building in Doral and they've put up my work, and then I said to myself that, you know, if I can be in Doral, I should be in my own apartment building also. So that's what initiated this whole thing, and also being so close to the water, because
This
water
is a
features so much in
demonstration
my
of
work.
Wirecast.
So I have some installations that I've done. I have installations in Vegas and New York and Cincinnati and in multiple cities. But I think it will look really nice in this lobby. We're so fortunate that we are right by the water, and water features so much in my work, just because, you know, ancestrally I come from the islands. So that features in my work. So so that's why I wanted to bring that in and spruce up the lobby a little bit. I love this building, which is why I bought it. But I just feel that we need just
This
some
is a
burst of
demonstration
color
of
here and there,
Wirecast.
just kind of give it that oomph, you know. So so that's why I thought I walked around and I felt that in the lobby there is a couple of spots that I think would be perfect, and we're willing to sign a waiver so that, you know, if something happens to it, you know, nobody is liable. But yeah, I think that for the residents it would be great, and if I put it up here, if you all agree and I put it up here, then I will do it'll be on a consignment basis, and I will,
This is a
whichever
demonstration
resident
of
will buy,
Wirecast.
will, get a percentage off, and I will give a percentage to the homeowners association for giving me this opportunity, this platform to present. Having said that, that's the idea.
So you're gonna actually hang it, or will they be in a display, or you actually wanna put them on the wall?
I wanna put them on the wall, and all I need is one, screw that goes in the wall, and one screw in the wall will take care of one, filigree, which is, the largest I can go is 29 inches, I can even go to 32 inches.
This is a
And then, I
demonstration
plan to
of
do something in the form of a
Wirecast.
wave, and there is an example of this that was bought by a
Hold one
gentleman.
up and just show everyone what it looks like.
Sure,
Let's pass them around.
Yeah, it's actually pretty stable, it's fine. As long as you hold it proper, it's actually pretty
You
good.
just have to hold it through the middle over here, and you can,
Similar to what, solar sign.
Glass or
it's glass.
Yeah,
I mean-
we bought it, no, it was a Jupiter.
Where's your studio?
It's in Kansas.
This is a
Because I
demonstration
have a
of
lot of space over
Wirecast.
there,
It's a
So I
display.
have multiple kilns and
Individual
that's what
glass
I-
flowers.
So would you provide the placard, like to say,
yes,
you're the artist for
Yes.
information, call?
Exactly.
And then put your website
exactly.
discreetly on the.
Yes, yes.
Right below it.
Discreetly with blinking lights?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Strobe lights.
There was one that I saw at that same gallery, the way you did it looked really good.
The one before this was awesome.
This
This
is a
one,
demonstration
so
of
you can show me that I
Wirecast.
can do something like that, because, this happened to be in my unit.
That one on the left, there.
Yeah.
That
So
one.
she got an award for this is
On the
a,
left side, yeah, that looks really good.
That one, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot though, but you're not gonna do that.
What walls were you,
No, and this one,
what walls were you looking at, and,
so there is that wall with the table in front of it, and
Yeah.
the two chairs on either side,
Yeah,
that was
that's a
one.
good wall, yeah.
That's a good wall, and then the other thing I thought was,
This
you know,
is a
even above
demonstration
the
of
sofa,
Wirecast.
a little bit higher though, if we could have something over there that kind of follows the theme
That
of
wall
the
outside the
wave.
gym, that long,
The one you
long
can sit
wall.
on.
I like
wall.
that picture, I like that picture.
What do they go for, if I can ask? I mean, I see there's multiple sizes in the.
Right, so they go from.
so the smallest one is on $250,
Okay.
and the largest one is around $1,800 to $2,000, depending on the size.
It's beautiful.
There's also this wall, well, I mean, the lobby is great, but if you want, there's that wall too.
This is a
Yeah,
demonstration of
at the galleries,
Wirecast.
these are, at the galleries
No,
also,
I
they're
saw them.
like
I've seen them
twice
before, yeah.
the price, but because, my galleries take 50%, so it virtually doubles. But, so over here, because I'm selling it directly, the other thing is that, so if, another question is, if it sells, and then that wall becomes empty, then I'm gonna replace it with something different. I will never put more of the same, because it would not be fair to the person buying it, the
This is a
patron, the collector
demonstration
buying
of
it. So I will
Wirecast.
always replace, so you're not gonna have multiple nails or screws in the wall, and it's not gonna look ugly. I promise that once it goes, it will be replaced.
So how big of a space you think you're taking?
So it depends on what everybody agrees on, so with today's time, we don't do big installations where, like, it's not a whole, but some of its parts, so.
You were
if
saying
give me
something
so
about
much-
28 or 32 inches, or?
Yeah, so it'll be part of a composition, so the 28 or 32 inches will be one, and then
This
I'm
is a
just gonna kind of,
demonstration of
like have
Wirecast.
one, and then smaller, and then smaller, and smaller, kind of, depends on the space. Once I look at the space, like if I had something like this, I will treat it like that wall.
Okay.
But then if I had in front of the, the console in the lobby area, then I would do like a wave, that kind of comes out and does that. So it depends on what wall I get. So that's nice, because whoever buys it too, their wall is not gonna be the same, so
And if
it
you
can.
stop off on the 8th floor, I don't know if you've seen
This
it as
is a
yet, if you
demonstration
stop off
of
on the 8th floor,
Wirecast.
you'll see the colors that are gonna be going on the walls here in the entire building.
Oh, okay,
Around that color scheme.
okay,
So, you can,
perfect. But yeah, I mean, if everyone decides
Oh my
that,
God,
no, you
that's
you want
beautiful.
just blues, I can do blue, I mean, I can do pretty much anything, it's just, it depends on, I mean, this is a it's very dramatic, all those different colors.
That one wall, I think it could be all right there, but I still would hate to see the picture of the
home
sofa
goods
move.
picture.
I like the way that's.
So you're talking
This is
about
a demonstration of
Right
Wirecast.
there?
It doesn't
Right
matter.
on the left.
You know,
Where that
that
little
picture could
credenza is?
also come inside of here, or it could go anywhere. I mean, I think we have to go
Another
for
place you
change.
could put them too is that sidewall in front of the gym where we have those,
The three
tulips.
pictures or the
Because they're not,
tulips?
that's.
I don't know, I think she was probably asking for the lobby.
Okay.
He's talking about
Yeah.
that little alleyway
Just
there.
because I want visibility.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
I agree.
But I don't just those pictures.
So
are
if we said Ixnay over the sofa, but you could present anywhere else and see what you wanna do?
She let her look.
Yeah,
Show
they
us.
like that console,
This
you
is
know.
a
in front of the-
demonstration
that's
of
fine.
Wirecast.
Or even, either of those pictures by the office, probably replace those two pictures.
Yeah, but those pictures by the office,
You're
and
talking about by
she's
the desk.
talking about.
Yeah, there's one by
I
the
would
desk
let
and
her
one
do
by the
those
other.
two walls and take the painting that's hanging there and put it somewhere else. It's
That
a
little
nice
painting?
painting, but the wall outside the gym would be lovely for that painting. Anywhere else would be, that picture on the wall outside the gym looks like we're dark, so let's get darker. We need change, we
You
need
could-
color,
I
we
don't know,
need
let's try one
change.
wall and then we go from
We
there.
have to start moving forward.
Is that all right?
This is a
Absolutely.
demonstration of
I
Wirecast.
mean, yeah, anything,
Right. Yeah, roughly,
and then-
yeah, too many feathers, let's go, baby steps. But let's do that, I'm cool with that, I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters.
Anyone object?
Yeah, just get one wall, I don't wanna move the painting.
I think that painting looks like home goods at its best. Here we are finally getting real art. I'm tired of living
You're
in
no
home
expert
goods.
on art, Diane.
Tired of living in home goods.
All right, I think we're cool with it.
Okay, I appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
This
So,
is a
you approve the
demonstration
second wall
of
or?
Wirecast.
Thank you.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Now
We're
it's just the
looking
arm wrestle
forward
match
to it.
requirements. All right, so we're good with that.
We're good with that.
All right, I guess you just coordinate with Mario.
Okay,
Yeah,
so.
we'll take a look at the wall and look how far you're gonna put and then I'll just get it approved.
Is it easy
Yeah.
to come off and go, when I say that, when we're painting the wall, to come off and then paint and then put it
Very
back
easy,
on? Okay,
very easy,
perfect.
yeah, it's just, it's
Which
all
wall do you
about
have?
how
I
you
think
hold
we're
it,
gonna
always
start
hold it to the
painting
center.
downstairs soon.
Which wall do you have over?
Well, we
This
start
is a
painting
demonstration
downstairs
of
soon.
Wirecast.
Fixing all these doors and I start painting the downstairs as well.
Good.
What
Let's start with
reason?
this one first.
Yeah, we start with here
And then we
let's
go,
move
yeah,
on.
then we figure out with Nick and just make
Okay.
sure we want to
Yeah.
Perfect.
And if you are
Okay.
renovating the lobby, and if you could, I mean, now I'm pushing it, but if now you're being nice, I mean, if I could have a
Someone else
light,
like, yes.
yeah, if I could have a light that went over it, it's so nice.
Yes.
I mean,
there's a
glass and light, it's
Yeah.
like,
This is a
it's like a
demonstration
marriage.
of
You just
Or aren't
Wirecast.
there just, mobile stick-on LEDs that you can double-face tape that you can put? I mean, they sell that stuff, I don't know if that helps it out.
Okay, I
I
just,
don't know where you're gonna put a spot.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Let me just mention something. Do you, cause once you remove it, there's holes in the wall that have to be patched.
she's saying only one screw.
Ground screw.
Once,
But it could be visible when they're patching it, just the way things are, it's just. But have you ever thought about putting like a substrate,
This
like
is a
let's say
demonstration of
2 inch,
Wirecast.
like a 6 by, let's say you want it to be 8 feet wide, 8 feet by 6 feet, put that on the wall with like a thin wood, and then that gets hung on the wall, and then you put your, of the same color of the wall, or neutral, like white, and then you put your pieces on it so
How
it
does the
stands out
substrate
more,
hold up?
as opposed to on the wall.
But I think she said it's like a rack, not a rack, but I guess everything hangs on the one thing, the one screw.
No,
One
the,
screw
each filigree will have one
As
screw.
This is a
demonstration
Each
of
filigree will have one
Wirecast.
screw. But, once I take that off, I will put something else up there. So it's never going to stay as open screws, I will open holes, I will always have something that I put in its place.
So
that
the
it's
screw
never
will
going to-
always stay there.
Yes.
And something else will hang on it.
Exactly, because I live here, I mean, I don't live here, but I have a.
Like, see
It
that
doesn't
screw hanging out,
matter.
see that one on the wall?
Right.
See that, now imagine like 8 of those when your installation's gone.
That's what I'm saying, it will, once it's gone,
This
the
is a
minute, because it's not
demonstration
gonna
of
go and then it's not gonna be
Wirecast.
empty, so the minute I make a sign with the client, it takes time for it to get packed and sent. In the meantime, I'm just gonna ship another piece over here right away.
Mhm.
So, that's my agreement with the building because it's in my own interest too. I don't want this building
No,
to
you
look
live
bad.
here. No, you
So,
don't want it to look bad.
You know, I don't want it to look bad. So as soon as this goes, I'm gonna replace it. Besides, you know, like I said, I wanna be here in 5 years, so I want my work here. I want representation in this place. So this is great real
This
estate
is
for
a
me.
demonstration
I'm just
of
gonna keep throwing stuff
Wirecast.
here.
A good point.
I know.
No, I hate those myself. It
Yeah.
just annoys me so much.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right.
Irma?
Yep, we have,
Mr. Irma?
Selling Associates here to give us a quick, Irma update on the plane. Thank you so much for coming.
Sit down here.
before?
This is a demonstration of
Sam Mowers,
Wirecast.
Brazilian Associates with Robert Brazzelli, who's sitting to my right. So currently we have slotted the east stack for testing, and this will be the final testing. What we're testing is a proposed window repair by Window Reliance, Tom Metzger. He's gonna be taking out the sashes in the windows and also doing some caulking repair. And we anticipate that that repair will be sufficient to stop the leak. And since he'll be proposing to do the entire east stack, there'll also be a warranty that
This
comes with
is
the
a
caulking.
demonstration of
So what we're gonna
Wirecast.
do is units 10E and 15E, Mr. Ritchie, have been slotted for this test repair. And if the test is working, and the way we'll test it is with a water pressure test, which we've done before in the building. So on July 18th, the repairs will take place through till the end of Friday, and then the weekend will go, allowing the materials to dry. And then July 24th, we anticipate to do the water test.
This
where we'll
is a
be spraying
demonstration
water
of
at
Wirecast.
around 35 to 40 miles per hour, which will simulate a storm, not a hurricane force, but a general storm that this area is affected by regularly. So if no water intrudes into the building after the repairs, we'll know that the test works, and then we'll move forward with doing the entire east stack. And then from there, the rest of the east side of the building, and then case-by-case basis for the other units, based on noted water damage and water intrusion.
This
So
is a
that's pretty much what
demonstration
we're
of
set up for July.
Wirecast.
And also the board is meeting with a few general contractors to make a decision on who they're going to be retaining to help assist with putting all of this together. And the GC will be crucial for helping streamline this whole process to make sure that it all goes on one permit and it goes through as quickly as possible. And so that's for July.
Now that, I don't know if we're getting that set up yet, is the fire door.
This is a demonstration
So that's all
of
part of it. GC will
Wirecast.
coordinate with the fire doors. And I think it was also in our meeting, we were saying he can also coordinate with the painters and the hallways.
Yeah,
Do we need to have him coordinate with the painters? That's what I'm asking, because we.
No, he's gotta kind of take on the whole
that
project
cost?
and make sure everyone is doing their
Yeah.
job in the right slot, so it does, so everything gets done in the most efficient way possible.
The
And
general
shortest amount of
contractor is
time.
gonna be, supervising or overseeing the windows repairs, the fire doors
This is a
installations,
demonstration
the
of
doors here that are
Wirecast.
gonna be installed, they'll probably come in towards the end of that. The exterior and interior paint, some mechanical work, the elevators, the HVAC unit, some minor electrical work they're gonna oversee, the roof repair or replace, whatever we decide to do, and the balcony railings. So they're gonna oversee all of that, they're gonna be liable for all of that, which is why we wanna have a general contractor taking care of it.
And they had said they wanted him liable for it. It was mentioned that with
This
him
is
being
a
liable for it,
demonstration of
it's easier if
Wirecast.
we have to claim again, that we have one person to go to who is the person that's liable for every bit of work that was done, in case we have another claim again. There's one go-to person who is responsible.
Right, they were saying that having the GC, it's his permit, everyone's working under his license for the most part, or his permit, he's gotta be responsible for everything, so he's not gonna want anyone else looking after anything on the projects, so.
Make sure he's got enough performance insurance, so it doesn't go broke like in the past.
This is a demonstration
Well,
of
they go
Wirecast.
broke.
No, it's good.
He's being
Yeah,
recommended
no.
to us by Gus, the architect who is doing the building. He
We'll
was,
make
I
sure he's
know,
well
but
vetted,
The GC is the one has to
Yeah.
provide the policy.
For sure.
for
Right.
performance.
well vetted.
And
Well,
then
that's not necessarily true. The GC will not pay for a completed operations policy coverage. They typically don't, they make the owner pay for it. But that's something, so there's a separate coverage that, for the completed operations
This is a
coverage. that we may
demonstration of
wanna- you guys may
Wirecast.
wanna
You mean an added
investigate.
policy to our
It's an
insurance?
extra policy for the project. So definitely, it's a good point, so it's not expensive, but you gotta think about that.
Okay.
And then, so make sure he's bonded, insured, then that's extra coverage that gets tagged on to the cost of the project.
Okay.
But that's a good point.
Okay,
We
so
need
we
to,
got-
we need to get our own policy or?
She's saying there's an extra-
You will know,
Right, yeah.
what
Our insurance.
extra
This is a
coverage
demonstration
for
of
the course of the
Wirecast.
project that you may wanna look into.
And then as far as the claim side as well, the insurance representatives will be back to the property on July 24th. And we anticipate that will be their final time on the property, if everyone can make it. And we'll have a meeting with them, go over any outstanding items that we have, and then from there, we'll have a complete understanding, hopefully, of what they're willing to pay for and what they're not willing to pay for. And if they're not willing to pay for certain items, we will demand appraisal.
This
and-
is a
and inform
demonstration
the
of
policy.
Wirecast.
We'll take over from there.
What they committed so far to pay?
Right now, they've made an initial
Committed to pay,
payment.
they authorized windows, doors, and so forth, how much is
They
that?
haven't.
No, they haven't
No,
authorized.
they
They haven't authorized
authorized.
anything. They've given certain limits, and they need supporting documentation for them to approve those limits. So right now, we're working with the loss consultant, and we're making sure that all of that supporting documentation is presented
After a year,
properly.
we still working on that, we don't have a price to give them?
This is
No,
a
no, there is
demonstration
pricing,
of
it's just once we've
Wirecast.
submitted it, which we've done, they've now requested additional documentation. So we're in the process of doing that, whether it's a simple request of sending additional photographs, or another request was possibly having an expert come and pull out the control panel in the elevator and look inside the elevator. So there's a lot of different things that they're requesting, and we're putting all of it together, and we're making sure that it all gets done before July 24th.
So they haven't committed to any
This
money
is a
right now.
demonstration
All
of
the work's been done
Wirecast.
here and
Yeah,
there,
they've
it's
given
in our
us
own
interim
expense so
payments.
far.
Right, they've given an initial payment
They did this,
based on remediation, but again, even with remediation, they've requested additional documentation, and we're trying to obtain that as well.
So I assume some of those expenses exceed the $1 million deductible already, that's why they authorized some payment?
Yes.
We already have estimates for $1 million. What
Well, the building will still have to cover the deductible, but we're above the
do
deductible.
you mean?
The
Over $1 million
deductible,
we
This
have
is a
estimates to
demonstration
do
of
work,
Wirecast.
right, so the work far exceeds the deductible. Our
So
claim
they're
far
only
exceeds
committing
the
to money
deductible.
over $1 million right now.
I'm sorry?
What is it?
The insurance company is authorizing only above the $1 million deductible.
The insurance is already paid above the deductible at this point.
What he's asking
Right,
is
so
how much
so
above
money's
the deductible
allocated,
have
yes,
you
of course, they're like, well, the million's on you guys, but
Right.
the claim is beyond
Where do we
that.
spend $1 million? My question is, where do we spend $1 million?
This
So far.
is a demonstration of
We have
Wirecast.
had the water remediation people.
As part of the claim, well, that is something
Insurance
that
company only pays
Robert,
up to
or
$1
Daniel
million.
can speak to.
No, that's not the case.
No?
No.
What's the
They-
case?
The case is that they analyze the loss. What has been done has been a damage assessment. They don't issue payment based upon only what you've spent. They issue payment based upon an analysis of the damage that they feel is causally related.
This is a
to the hurricane.
demonstration of
Not-
Wirecast.
So it's an analysis of both what you've spent and plus things that they anticipate or customary and ordinary costs of repair with all the different damages. So it's a complex analysis, it's still going on, they're requesting more information.
I
We've
understand
done
all
the-
that. The question I don't understand is, up to $1 million we pay. Above $1 million, the insurance company kicks in.
Up to $1 million, that's
Up to
true.
$1 million we
Exactly.
pay.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
but
how much
they'll
we spend
pay
out
This
over and
is a
above the $1
demonstration
million,
of
even if you haven't
Wirecast.
paid it, based upon an assessment that the damages will exceed that reasonably in their analysis. So they're not waiting for, but regardless, the damages exceed the
$1 million.
deductible, greatly exceed that. So therefore, they're assessing this now, over and above that, even without this work started, like for example, a lot of this work can't be started because we're still in the analysis phase, or you can't start the interior hallway
This is a
repairs.
demonstration
until
of
those fire
Wirecast.
doors on the south side are replaced, because otherwise, if you guys do one thing, it's just gonna get ruined by the next storm. So that's why the association has to put its socks on before the shoes on a lot of these repairs. So it's
How
unfortunately,
much is the assessment for the losses right now at this point?
there's no assessment right now, except
So
for
what
up
is
to
it
the
present to the
deductible.
insurance company, nothing?
No, what, you're talking about how much is the claim, I think
This
he's asking.
is a
We made
demonstration
the
of
claim, the
Wirecast.
initial assessment of the damage was, on the outset, there was an assessment done by the loss consultant of $8 to $10 million. And so they're looking at that and saying, well, we question A, B, and C, and D. Top experts who have been hired and retained to analyze all these different areas of the damage. And right now, they're contesting many of them. We're providing them more
This
information.
is a
We have
demonstration of
experts, they have
Wirecast.
experts. That's where we're at. We're trying to get them to pay for all of the damages that we feel that we can confidently prove is related to the hurricane.
What about interior stuff? I still have holes in my walls, baseboards are off. What's going on with that?
Well, the condo policy only provides certain coverages. So the policy itself will only, for instance, mainly protect the window wall. So
This
if there's
is a
water
demonstration
damage to
of
the window walls,
Wirecast.
absolutely, the condo policy covers that. However, you're talking about maybe there's certain demising walls that you have an issue with.
No, I'm talking about window walls primarily.
Window walls, okay. So for window walls, the association's responsible.
Yeah, but he wants to
and
know a
it's insured.
timeline, so it's when we get.
Well, this window test
Right.
is the first thing, this repair is, we're actually, executing
What
on the
stack are you
24th.
doing? Are you doing the E stack?
Yes.
Well, the E stack is gonna be the first stack that's tackled.
This
So
is
once
a
if these
demonstration of
repairs work,
Wirecast.
then we'll know that they're gonna work.
Then
The
you'll
board will
know.
know when they test it after they do the recommended repair. And if the repair holds, that means it's good to go for the rest of the stack. Then the repair of the walls will be after the repair of the windows.
Okay.
Again, because if you repair the wall first, then then you're just gonna get wet again until we repair the windows.
The other thing is, I think a lot of people don't realize, you understand that it's drywall in is a responsibility.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
They're not responsible for your baseboards, they're not responsible for your trim, they're not responsible for your tile or anything like that, it's drywall in. So once that's done and they redo the drywall, then it's your responsibility to put on baseboards and finish it up, which should have been claimed from your insurance company for
Okay.
your homeowner's policy. So it'll be drywall in.
So what's behind the drywall?
This
Is it
is a
insulation?
demonstration
Because
of
I still
Wirecast.
smell mold.
Because it
What
hasn't
unit, Dan?
been addressed as
16?
yet.
16.
Did we test 16?
What's behind the drywall is a concrete block. And
Yeah, but you can
There's a fairing strip,
yeah,
and then
Is there fiberglass insulation in it?
No.
I haven't seen any.
Okay.
typically there's not going to be. It's gonna be just.
Well, it might just be growing on the back of the drywall.
Are they doing any, like when they remove the
Because that's what I
drywall,
get.
has
This
anybody
is a
come up with a
demonstration
plan? Is
of
the general
Wirecast.
contractor coming up with one when they remove that drywall?
Well, remember.
Like if it was me and there was mold behind, I wouldn't be able to go into the apartment because I'm allergic to it, so what would happen?
Well, there's gonna be a containment set up for, like, environmental. So we all met the company based out of Texas that works on a national level. So when they do these repairs, they're gonna set up a container inside the unit so that when they're removing the drywall from the window walls, it's completely contained and they'll.
This is a demonstration of
And then do they do a
Wirecast.
cleaning like of that concrete, or is there some process that's done? Because if you
If
just
they
leave
find
it.
microbial growth, then they have to deal with it. If they don't find microbial growth, they don't have to deal with it. But if, for some for instance, like on floor 17, or 13, the penthouse floor, the ceiling has been cracked, and the ceiling in some cases has fallen down, and there's popcorn ceiling that also have to be addressed, dealt with.
Yeah, they won't just cover it up.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Sure. His question that he has a problem with the inside wall, the fact that the window was defective, so I don't see why the insurance company gonna get their responsibility out of it. They're responsible for any damage caused by the window, whether it's the wall, whether it's the floor, the tile, or furniture, everything. If the window wasn't the problem, you know, where the buck stops.
Well, it follows the path of damage. It follows the path of damage.
Okay, so the damage has damaged his
This is a demonstration of
Does the
Wirecast.
insurance company cover that?
No, it only follows the path of damage up
You shouldn't pay anything.
Up to drywall.
up to the insurable item. So,
Up to what?
what's insured?
Remember,
This is
when
the
we
thing.
take out a policy, we insure drywall in. When you as a homeowner take out a policy, you insure drywall out. So our policy and that they are claiming for is drywall in. Your policy is drywall out.
You're responsible.
So you're
This is a
responsible for
demonstration
that
of
portion,
Wirecast.
which is your floors, your baseboards, things like that.
Even so, the damage was caused by a defective window.
Yeah, because that's
But
for
that's
your
why you
policy,
have
because
condo
this policy
insurance.
doesn't.
That's why you have homeowners insurance, to cover that.
And
If you
so
own the
why
home,
they pay, what the homeowner insurance gonna pay, they didn't cause the problem was caused by the window
Well,
problem.
no, that's why there's insurance. Do you have homeowners insurance?
No, we don't. No, I don't have a problem, I don't have an issue, I'm just listening.
But it is actually a rule of the condominium association that everyone has to
This
have
is a
insurance.
demonstration of
Everybody has to
Wirecast.
have it. It's a rule, it's in our books, it's on it, everybody has to have
No,
it.
we did, but I told them insurance, I told them about the damage, they were like, no, that's not our responsibility.
Well, then you didn't go to your insurance company properly, because think about it, the building is insured for drywall out. What is your homeowner's insurance
Yeah,
for
from
then?
drywall to the cement going out.
Is it Citizens?
Yeah, Southern Oaks.
Southern Oaks? We could talk about that afterwards, but you may,
This is a demonstration
consider
of
hiring
Wirecast.
a company like a public adjuster or someone to help you with that, because
They're supposed to-
they
They're
deny a lot
supposed
of
to.
claims, that's what they're really good at. And then they see if you're,
you mean Southern Oaks?
not just Southern
Any
Oaks,
Insurance
but
companies in
most
general,
of the
yeah.
property.
They're gonna immediately put it on, that's your association handles that.
Yeah.
And until you know what to come back with,
We're
they're
gonna get
gonna.
an estimate for all this work there, so we know how this is being paid, who's getting
Yes.
paid for what, everything
Yes,
there.
Yes,
Absolutely.
We will get, before this all gets.
yes.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Any other questions?
Just a little clarification, the holes that are within the walls in the bedroom and in the living room that were placed there after the hurricane.
Which walls?
The holes that they use for testing.
Not the window walls?
No,
All
no,
those
the
asbestos
sidewalls.
testing
They came
Walls.
into the sidewalls. window walls,
Underneath the
somebody came in.
windows, I have a bunch of holes
Yeah.
all along the.
I had from ceiling to
This is a
floor.
demonstration of
So this is the
Wirecast.
situation on that.
Yeah, because
Oh, is it near your kitchen or near your bathroom, that
No.
interior bathroom?
No,
Bedroom.
no, it's underneath wall. Underneath the windows. Somebody came along
On
and
on your,
Underneath
let me
the
just
window,
separate
right
the two.
there.
On your windows, the window wall, around your windows, if it's on the window wall, it's the property, it's the homeowner, it's your association's responsibility.
yeah.
So
okay.
that covers that, right?
Right.
But then they did on the sidewalk.
This is a demonstration
Now,
of
on the
Wirecast.
intersecting wall,
Somebody came in and put holes in those walls.
Well,
well, it depends how far back.
up to the sliding door, it's the same issue. They came along with a
Just go
big
and patch all
drill.
Yours, I think yours is different.
all over the
Okay.
building, cause
Oh.
everybody got
He's
them,
not a-
we did them,
How about
let's
these?
just patch them,
Oh,
it's gonna
please,
kill
please,
us.
please, please.
Okay.
If yours are the window wells, they're covered.
They're this
If
big,
it's
I
an
have them in
intersecting
my-
wall, and if it was done, we'd have to look at that.
The condo association.
We'll look at that.
You know, somebody in.
It was
Like,
done
for
by those
instance,
guys.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
You have walls from the floor to the ceiling.
Correct.
Well,
So we can
we
start matching.
have found water intrusion from the roof that has come down, and we believe, and we're making a claim, that water has come down and caused damage to the walls. So we're making a claim to try and see if the insurance company will pay for it.
We believe that the water that's intruding in the interior of your unit, near your kitchen, is from a break in the seal of a vent stack. And it's allowing.
This is
with
a
the hurricane
demonstration
winds on
of
the roof,
Wirecast.
that it's allowing that water that you never had before the hurricane now to appear. So that interior damage of the E-stack is something we're focused in on, have experts, we believe that it is related, and we're in the middle of working with the insurance company to come to a determination.
In fact, there was substantial repairs done to the roof in that area.
Is bubbling down from water.
I see, and what about the
by the window?
This
holes
is a
that are holes in
demonstration
the
of
bedroom, all the way
Wirecast.
around the bedroom on the bottom?
So, when we did your unit, I believe we did your bedroom, we did do your bedroom, we did the living
No,
room.
you did the living room.
We did the living room. So, in your unit, your bedroom still has holes on the windows. Well, those windows are slotted to be repaired and replaced. Not replace the windows, but the drywall will be
The
replaced.
holes go completely around the bedroom. I
Right.
just want to clarify that.
Sure. So for the
Our-
window wall
This is
in
a
the bedroom,
demonstration of
that is
Wirecast.
association.
Okay, but
Doing the
I
driveway.
have to say this, because I think this is like 6 of one, half a dozen on the other hand. This is a decision that the board needs to make.
The window.
We put the bloody holes in the people's apartments in the entire building.
But we were just discussing
What is
here,
it
and let
gonna
everyone
kill
talk
us
about
to
it.
go and get a drywall guy and send him around?
No, well,
and
what's
patch
gonna
a
happen
hole?
is, as we do the window replacement, we do visual inspection.
Okay,
We
and
see
can
where the
we
holes
patch
are,
it?
and we're gonna fix them.
Okay, cause my own has one little hole, I can patch it myself, but he has like
This is a
5,000
No, we'll do
holes.
it-
I think there needs to be
Wirecast.
some
Right.
patches,
To
5,000
do it widespread
holes.
with everyone in the
Same
building
as
might get a little
yours.
crazy at first, but we'll go up to the ones we do the windows first, and then we can send it out and say, well, who still has holes left?
Cause the
And then
truth
we'll
is,
patch it.
if I pay a drywall guy $300 for a day and tell him you stay in the morning until you go to bed at night
He's gonna
tonight,
hit a heck
he'll
of a lot
patch
of
every
needs.
single
Yeah.
hole in this building, so it'll come on, $300 and we
All
make
right, so
every
we
minute.
can
Yeah, I think that's something that could be done.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can make that
I
happen.
Visual
think,
inspections
I think
when the
we need to
windows are
patch up the
tested and
holes.
take care of the
I
holes.
keep
that-
hearing it
Demonstration
from
of
everybody,
Wirecast.
listen, I have 3 holes in, and I think I had holes in my apartment, but I patch them, but there's some people who don't know how to
That's
do that,
right.
let's just
Yeah, yeah.
patch their
Okay.
holes.
Yeah, so people still have the blue tape.
Just
on the
patch
wall,
their holes for them,
Right.
Which you can remove, by the way, if you still have.
make them happy.
We gotta set that out. You can remove
So
the
no
blue tape.
windows are gonna be replaced, it's just gonna be repaired and
Please
put
remove
on.
your blue tape.
Understand what
It's
they-
gonna be replaced.
Okay, when he came and he described the window to us and he was giving us a demonstration, it actually made sense what he was saying. He says the sash
This is a
itself
demonstration
has this
of
felt on the
Wirecast.
other side. And that felt has become compressed from the constant movement. He took a window, and he redid the felting, and the window functioned properly. He also said that from the pressure doing this, the caulking around the window got cracked. So he's gonna redo the caulking, redo the felting, and when he did that in a trial for
You know what
himself,
we
it
could do?
worked perfectly. And that's what he's planning to come with.
Whenever the question.
Okay, because nothing's wrong with the glass, nothing's wrong with
This
the
is a
metal. What's wrong
demonstration
is
of
the
Wirecast.
felting and the caulking. So that's his take on it.
That has to be done from the outside. Because
Yes
the
and no, the
caulking
caulking has to be, that's the reason why they're saying the E-stack, cause think about it, they now have to go and put one of those things up on the building
Yeah.
with the people that go down. So we can't say we're gonna do E, F, H, and D, we have to go E, then we have to go next, and then next, and then next, otherwise we'll have to deploy so many, and it's
This is
gonna
a
cost too much. So
demonstration
we're
of
gonna start with one
Wirecast.
stack and then move. But yes, it does have to be done from the outside.
We're gonna do
But that, when he came, he understood this building very well because he had actually worked for the company that did that, Banduli installation we had. Banduli in Jamaica means, questionable. Questionable, so the
He didn't do the
Banduli.
windows, I think.
And he
did the
knew
doors.
about all the Banduli stuff that went on with the installations, and he knew everything about the building, so.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
He worked with them and he actually bought the window companies afterwards and explained to us what the problems were with those windows. But think about it, when felt keeps getting compressed, it does, it's not gonna hold anymore.
So what they gonna replace it with?
That was it, right?
More felt, but that's what you have to do. But I was talking to a friend of mine.
Are we done with this? I wanna revisit this, the thing with the carpeting. Have we gone to
This is a
Miami
demonstration
carpeting? Have
of
we gone to
Wirecast.
Boston carpeting? I don't like the way the board is directing everything to one particular company. I'd like to see how competitive this company is.
Well, I'll tell you what, see, because you had mentioned this to me before. We haven't ordered it yet. You know, we assessed for it, we can order it, it's not a problem, but we said we assessed for a certain amount, and we need a breakdown of what the carpeting costs, what the paint costs, and that's all we're waiting on now.
And well, okay, well, here's
This
my
is a
question.
demonstration of Wirecast.
Well,
I mean, he knew the figure, so I'm assuming we're in the
carpeting
ballpark.
at Miami, and previously I bought carpeting at Dolphin. When I was talking to Miami, they said, well, we have a team that just does carpeting in hallways of buildings, and we're also decorators who choose colors for the hallways.
Are we gonna do it over again, or will
So
it be a decision?
I'm very annoyed that we're pushing through. I do not like powder blue walls
This
in
is a
the
demonstration
halls.
of
That
Wirecast.
powder blue color, I do not like that dark charcoal gray door. I don't like the white. These colors do not go together. They do not blend together. You have color experts that have a whole series of colors that they're all related, they go together, and then they put it down, and they say, well, if you're gonna do the walls this color, your door should be that, and I've got it right here,
No, I
which
need
I'll
to
give
say
you.
something to you, Mark. The board made a decision based on what was presented to them. That was the decision that was
Right.
made, and not
But
everybody, I
especially
don't.
with only one
You're
company.
never gonna
You
get-
can
No,
bring everybody else
not
in.
with only one company. This thing had been going on and on and on with a decorating committee that wasn't meeting, maybe meeting,
No, because the
deciding.
decorating committee had no, I was on the decorating committee, we had no choice. They just went to one.
Who they, the
The
decorating?
president, or the head guy of the decorating.
That's
committee.
not the point. If you are
It
part
is
of
the
a
point.
decorating committee, bring your suggestions and put them in. The
Well,
point
this is what I'm
why are
doing.
we going back to redo
I'm
this
not
all
going back
over
anyway.
again?
I'm listening to
A
what you have to say.
decision was
Because here's
made
another
and
thing,
it's
you said
done.
you're
I'm not-
gonna do the party room. I do not like light
Well,
gray
too bad,
carpeting.
I don't like
in
gray
an
and
office
brown, I
with
don't
powder
like
blue
orange and
walls
red,
here.
we all don't like, but it's chosen.
It's ridiculous.
It's
It's
chosen.
a party room,
Are y'all
it
gonna
should
go and do
be
it over again?
a colorful.
No, I want you to be definite and firm about something, answer something. Are you doing it over again or is it a moot point?
Well, I don't see
It's
why-
a
How
done
can it be
deal.
a done deal? You have got no
It is
prices
voted
to
on.
compare it
No,
against.
because he
You're
knew
not
that- no,
comparing
no,
with
that's
other
not true.
companies.
Frank,
You're
he
not even
knows-
comparing
This
the
is a
square footage.
demonstration
How many
of
square footage is
Wirecast.
he putting in? Why don't you find out what the.
Here's what
Frank, we have
square
three
footage is
companies that have come in here and have measured
Yes.
everything in the hallways and everything, and we're gonna get proposals from all three. If you have a contact
That's for
information from
installation.
Dolphin Carpet, give it to me, and I'll have them bid too. And you won't have
What,
more.
did
But
you go
this-
to
he's-
Miami
he's talking more than
Because I've
installation.
spoken to
He's
them.
going
I'll
to the
have them
carpeting.
call.
Sure, yeah, I mean, we'll just get a proposal from them as
Because,
well.
They have decorators that'll come in, I do not.
The
think-
colors and the scope of
Nick,
work has
everything
been
is
set.
chosen.
But
It's
All we
just
need is
the
prices,
execution.
that's all we need. We're
That's
not
all
gonna
you're
change
gonna
anything.
work. I mean, they're just that charcoal.
We're not gonna change anything
You know,
else.
you can just paint a wall of color, just to paint a wall, but there's gonna be no pizzazz,
Frank,
nothing exciting.
Help me understand, did I just, because I just got on the board. Were you part of
Yes,
the decorating committee?
yes,
And as part of the decorating committee, Nick was the head of it?
yes,
Did you discuss the colors?
yes. But
And what
he
was
just
it?
had his one thing, and he brought in
This
like
is a
maybe 6 different
demonstration
samples.
of
and says, "Hey,
Wirecast.
go
Why do you
there."
have that
Well,
now,
you go to a carpet store, I said, well, why don't we go to the carpet store?
And what was
And
his response?
Just brings it and you just choose the.
Yeah, but you're a
There
member
was
of
no
the
choice.
committee, my point
It
is.
was a dysfunctional committee, they just, I just totally disagree with it.
Frank
because I don't
disagrees
care.
'cause his
I'm
color
old,
that
I
he
haven't got
wanted
that
was
much
not
time left.
chosen.
But,
They
if
were
you're gonna do
fathers who
something,
agreed.
do it right. And, I think that color for the walls is a total disaster. And if people talk about
This
darkness,
is a
with that real
demonstration
dark,
of
when you stand in
Wirecast.
front of that door that's almost black, trying to find your key and find the hole in
Put
a
a
black door,
combination lock,
it's
Frank, it's
ridiculous.
$150 at Home Depot.
Who picked out the color? Who was the one who picked out the color?
The decorating committee came up with stuff. Whether one person or two people didn't agree, there were enough votes from the decorating committee to push those colors forward. That's what came to us. We said okay, and that
We looked
was
at
the
the whole
end
thing, we made
of
some
that.
compromises, and not everyone agreed, and we were like, okay, let's go ahead with it.
I personally kind of like this, and that's a personal
See, but
taste.
the thing is, with that charcoal gray door, you don't put a white frame around it, that's no decorating. You've gotta get an in-between color that goes there.
Frank, the point is it's
Yeah,
done.
this is-
We're not changing
This is
it
the argument
now.
that should have
It's
been over a
done.
year ago.
Well, I've been talking to you about this. for a
I
year.
already know,
I've
but
been talking to you about,
you have.
about the outside, the landscaping. I wanted something with oomph.
This is a
Putting
demonstration
one
of
row of the same
Wirecast.
bush, and it's got no oomph. The stuff in the back, half of it's dying already if you take a walk back.
It's warranted for a year, what are you worried about? It's not dying, it looks good, it's growing.
It's all brown, I walk my
Some
dog.
of them are brown and he's gonna
Can
replace
replace them.
them. That's
It
his
happens.
job.
But,
Frank,
there's a
you would-
thing of just planting
What
bushes
are we
or
talking about
painting a wall.
landscaping?
You've gotta
I don't know how
have
many
taste.
seconds into
completely out.
I've done this my whole life.
I know, well then, you
Yeah.
I
on the board.
know, but the
Yeah,
point
but-
is you were
This
part
is
of a group that
demonstration
made
of
a choice if
Wirecast.
what you
Right,
wanted
if
wasn't
we
what the
rehashing
rest
this,
of
we'll
you
never
chose.
get it done.
Yeah.
Eventually, you have to get something done. You can hash colors from today till tomorrow. Get something done, the whole
Well,
world's
what
not
you,
good.
nobody did either, like when you buy your paint from Sherwin-Williams, they have a decorator there that you say, well, I'm gonna go with this carpeting, this is, what wall paints do you want? This was,
We're not
Julie,
rehashing this
does
again.
one member
Why
want
did
this
you say
color,
it's
does
done?
a member want that color, does somebody else want that color? Well, none of us have
This is a
color,
demonstration of Wirecast.
Don't speak
but there
for
are
everyone,
ex-
though.
there-
Don't speak
no,
for
on the
everyone.
board. I mean, there's experts whose whole life is colors.
That's kind of what Nick does for a living.
Not, I mean,
That's kind of what Nick does for a living.
That's exactly right. We're penny
Okay,
wise
but the
and
point is, the
penny
man that did it, that's kind of what he does for a living, and people
And if
pay
he
him
didn't
big
like what
bucks
the
for it.
professional said the colors would be, he'd say, oh, he's an idiot, he doesn't know anything. Well, show me what he's done.
But a professional
You can't win.
Well, show me
Well, then
what.
fine, I told you, I don't care,
This
my
is a
age is someone
demonstration
doesn't
of
care.
Wirecast.
But it's not gonna, I'm just telling everybody
Well, you got a
here,
contract
it's
already?
not gonna have a wow effect.
All right.
All it's gonna have, it's gonna look clean, and that's it, there's no wow effect.
Don't forget that there is a budget. There is a budget with what we
The
can
colors,
do.
budget don't matter when you're dealing colors. The paints is all cost the same.
Yes, Erica.
The carpets are all the
Okay,
same.
all this fighting over the new carpet and everything. The worst thing in this whole building, he has a vacuum that's substandard
This
for an
is a
apartment. It's
demonstration
not a
of
commercial
Wirecast.
vacuum. We do not have a commercial carpet cleaner, shampooer. You should see him work. I mean, it's crazy. Why do this? We have to have a maintenance plan with professional equipment. Our garage, you see the track where people walk. In the hallways, in all the hallways. We have a really dirty environment out here on the street. It gets on your feet. I take my shoes off when I go in my apartment. I don't want that stuff.
This is a demonstration
And you
of
see the track
Wirecast.
on the old carpet. Now we're putting new carpet and we have the
Well,
same
the old
problem.
carpet has a
with this
track
little
that has been
piece of-
trespassed for
And they have
10
a
years.
plan for it.
The thing
Like
is,
somebody said there's a plan,
the
there's a
vacuum
plan
he
for this.
has is a old Hoover that
We'll
doesn't
get him a
even
new
have
one.
any power. I wouldn't use that
No,
machine.
you'll get
Why
him a
would
professional.
I?
Erica, you're right, you're right.
Erica,
It's
you're
written
right,
down.
we're gonna get him a
We've already
professional.
discussed it with
And
him,
you
and
used
he's
to
gonna
have
get
a
a,
professional
you're right,
carpet
it is.
cleaner.
We replaced the
Tim
vacuum
was
a few
here.
times.
The thing broke, they threw it out, it was never
Yeah.
Demonstration of
Erica,
Wirecast.
he is getting a
There
commercial
needs to
cleaner,
be a
and the carpet,
in our
once the new
budget
carpet
to
goes,
do that.
there's a plan once the new carpet goes into place, there's gonna be a plan for people not to get it dirty.
You guys always say that, but then it doesn't
But
happen.
we haven't done
Erica,
it. We haven't-
Erica, I have to tell you something, you are
I don't
very
see
right
why-
about the
Like I always say, why does all this stuff come up
But the plan is in
now?
effect for
I mean, an
Because
email
I
is
told you that in the
Charles,
past, and you never addressed it.
Mr.
You're always busy, you
Shampooer,
gotta
it
rush
takes
there,
him
rush there,
4
instead
hours
listening to the whole
Wire
story
cast.
and doing something.
Listen to the whole story. You have a-
I gotta go back to the office, I gotta go, and then you don't listen. Same thing with the landscaping. I went up and down the street,
No,
chose
but
bushes.
the best
I chose
carpet,
bushes.
if you
I
don't
wanted,
have
I
a
told you, I'd take in the
maintenance,
car, show you the bushes that work good on the beach. I ain't got time, I gotta go here, gotta go
We
there.
have a landscaper that does that.
Oh, well, he's no landscaper, there were a bunch of people they found on the street, these guys aren't professionals.
What makes them qualified?
This is a demonstration of
They
Wirecast.
don't want them,
There's no water there.
There's no water there. It's 3 months of watering, or 2.5 months of watering, and the guy swore that they will grow with just rain. What?
No warranty if you don't water them.
No. He said after 2.5 months you water it is a warranty.
He is aware that there's no water, we don't have water back there, there's no,
We were not ready
irrigation
to
system
spend
back
this.
there.
And here's another thing too, okay, now, we're gonna do the artwork on the walls, but we're also going to get new furniture.
This is a
Now,
demonstration
now,
of
are we gonna have to
Wirecast.
match the furniture to what we have on the
Here,
wall?
see, the way you think
Instead
is
of
you'll never get
everything goes
anything
together.
done if you think like that.
You don't know anything about design.
Frank, you know, we had the head of the
Trying to get stuff
decorating
done.
Oh,
committee who is
Jesus
paid.
Christ, they were all
He is,
people who
no,
didn't
no,
know
no.
anything.
That
They
man
knew
does
nothing.
this
Right,
for a
that's all right.
living. He is as good as your
Finish all the agenda
decorator.
items.
Yeah.
Mario, one question before I go.
Yes.
The garage washing, how much did it cost us?
The what?
Simple job, washing the garage. How much we spent on
This is a
that?
demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, it was like 1,800.
Okay, give us a
Did anybody check that job before and after
Yes,
the
and we have
contractor?
before and after
And
pictures.
everybody's happy with that?
Yeah, outside
Thank you.
of putting the epoxy down there.
Okay, can I ask
Yes.
you something?
Wait till $1,800, but it's absolutely not, the dust off the
No, it took off all the grease. I mean, it's
Okay,
stained.
no,
Walk
hold
around there,
on.
I'll show you what they
Hold
took
on,
out.
you know what I
No.
like? I'd
You know, get us.
Well, it's
What do you
7 to 8
suggest?
months.
I agree with it.
Okay,
No, no.
the man.
What is he, what do you
4 months?
suggest, seriously?
Demonstration
Because
I
I
just
agree.
clean it with the right
What's going
machine.
on, bunch of
They
shit?
didn't use the right machine, they used the
You
little.
know on the Could you
Tell him.
Could you suggest
Tell him.
some Could you suggest? Mario, could you get some, I bring this at hand, so I can get someone, please? I prefer that.
That's it.
Why don't you, yeah, so stop fighting the resources. Give us your resources.
You demand the job to be done right, but you don't demand unless you understand what he has to do, and he has to give you the price.
They did use some acid, crazy acid on the.
Okay, can we ask him to suggest somebody for us?
I said suggest.
Can you get somebody if Mario
We
calls?
have a maintenance guy here, I tell him $50,000 an hour, I show him what to do, we go rent the machine there for $100 the whole day.
Where's the machine that you rent?
This is a demonstration
But
of
what is it?
Wirecast.
Wash
They
it,
have
takes
scrubbers.
everything off the ground.
They do.
Scrubber.
No, it's not a scrubber,
Also,
it's
the
a
melts
jet,
that are
jet
there
with
by
water
the
jets.
elevator downstairs, they need to be switched out. And I would say once a month, because the filthy, here, look at the bottom of your shoes. Because, you know, they
I
take the
agree.
dirt before it goes out.
I agree with Erica with those
And then
plans,
half
I'm
the
telling you,
cars,
just.
a lot of the cars were left
Maintenance is the
inside.
whole key. We need one more man here.
And a lot of the cars were left in the garage, they couldn't.
It was a few, it was a few.
Okay, we need to rent the machine and show
But
the
you know
guys
what?
and Erica,
I'll
I
get
agree with you, we
confirmation.
need to
Okay,
do that.
no, it's fine, but Bob, when you make
In the
1,000
past,
phone calls to these
you
people.
know,
and
it
they don't
is.
answer,
It's not
you
just
don't
a
have
new
the keys,
vacuum,
it's a
They
problem.
come and switch them
Switch
out.
them. Good idea.
Because
It's not just a new
Well, I know you go
vacuum.
like that, but.
You need to
What
tell
do you-
Charles
what do
to
you supposed to do,
empty
Charlie?
out the vacuum.
Yeah, you know.
Have you tried that vacuum?
My point is.
All right, Bob, take it easy.
Hi, guys. Motion adjourned. Motion second.
Second, third,
Demonstration of
third,
Wirecast.
15th and 20th.
Went so smoothly. Information.
But I want to know, Mark, is anybody going to the city council meeting?
I'm gonna send out an email. I won't be able to go because I do have to work, but I'm gonna send
I
out.
would go, but it will not be until after 1 o'clock at night, and I cannot read that
What's it
by
for?
myself. I need somebody to go with.
What's it for?
For the area. It's going to.
But it's not-
And they're going
I like this brown.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
That is a much more important
You got the
than
light
stuff
gray
we
carpet that's
discussed.
gonna show traffic, it looks like shit.
If none of that
And light
shows up
green in
tomorrow
here,
night,
like an office.
it's
This
all
is
going to be
festive,
good.
you gotta make it look not like a
I think
goddamn
once they have
office with
their
a
mind
great
set on
carpet.
something, it's just gonna
It's
happen.
ridiculous.
We've been fighting things for years.
Do you realize